All right. We're here with official Cholo Trucker in the building. What's going on, brother?
Not much, Bobby. Gracias so much for having me, big dog. Believe me, the pleasure's mine, man. I've been a fan of what you've been doing, dog. I've been watching for a while. So thank you for the invite, big dog.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Thanks for being here. Thanks for pulling up. You're not too far from here.
No, not too far, man. Don't even need to take a freeway, just a nice highway, man. And there is a difference. Being a trucker, homie, we know the difference between a freeway and a highway. So just jump on the highway, get here, all good, carnal.
That's all right. Good. That's right. Official trucker in the building. So how long you been a trucker for, man?
I became a trucker, man, when I was 19 years old. It's been over 20 years. And, you know, I kind of stumbled on it. It wasn't what I was seeking out to do, right? My family comes from truckers. My old man was a truck driver. And as a little kid, I would jump on the truck with him. And it was like the best time in the world, Holmes. Serio, man. I would love getting on the truck with them, dog. And he just kind of just showed me, man, just around the truck. We'd work on the trucks here and there. That I didn't like too much, man. I kind of wanted to play with my friends. But either way, man, I just love being in the truck. And once he left, once he was gone, that was about it. I kind of started building this anger. And I just kind of thought to myself, you know what? I'll never be a trucker. I'll never be a trucker, man. And then later on in life, when some of my family got into trucking, right, from my mom's side, I was just like, ain't for me, dog. You know what I mean? I said I would never be a trucker, right? Even though when I was riding around with my dad, that's what I wanted to be. I remember being in the second grade, Bobby, and I remember her name, Fremont Elementary in Montebello. I remember the teacher's name, Miss Fiero Romero. She was asking everybody, right? And everybody had to, I think draw or something of what you wanted to be. And you know, kids have big dreams, right? Everybody's doing all kinds of different things, right? Actress, actors, whatever it may be, man. And I'm drawing a picture of a truck, man. And I'm like, this is what I want to be. And I remember them looking at me. I could still remember their face, right? Because it was her and an assistant. I don't remember the assistant's name, but if she's watching, hey, shout outs to you. But they're like, what's this? It's a truck? And I'm like, yeah. And she's all like, well, what do you want to be? I'm like, I want to be a truck driver. I remember, they're like, you want to be a truck driver? I'm like, yeah, I want to be a truck driver. And yeah, man, but since my dad, like I said, since my dad took off, man, that anger, that sadness turned into anger. And I was like, I didn't want to do that, dog. You know, but my family got into trucking and I got busted, man. And when I got out, it was pretty hard to find a job, man, you know, as a felon. And my mom, they had just purchased another truck. So they had an old beat up 1981 Chato International 2-stroke truck, man, that was just sitting up in Lancaster. And they were like, hey, there's that truck. We're going to get rid of it. So, you know, you want it or not or whatever. And I'm like, man, and I can't get a job, man. It's hard. So I'm like, you know what? I'll go get my Class A, jump on the truck. But to me, it was always temporary. I never even then, I still didn't want to be a truck driver. Even 2 years into it, I still didn't want to be a truck driver. You know, to me, it was this is temporary. This is just for now. And here we are so many years later, man, over 2 decades later, and there's nothing else I'd rather be, dog. I love being a trucker.
Wow. So you said your dad left.
Yeah.
And that's what caused the anger and the frustration. So when him leaving, what do you mean by him leaving? When he left what?
So, you know, I was able to know what it was like to have mom and dad together till the age, I think, till about 7, 8 years old, something like that, right? And he ended up taking off, man. And when he took off like he was gone. That was it. We never heard from him ever again, right? No phone calls, no birthdays. So him and my mom, they divorced, they broke up. And he kind of hung around a little bit, not much. And then one day it just stopped, right? It just stopped because they broke up. And my timing might be a little bit off, but I was probably around like six or so. But he'd still come around here and there, right? And it was, it was cool. It was cool, man, But at one point he just stopped. It was done. It was all over. There was no phone calls, nothing, And I guess we came to find out, I guess my mom contacted his side of the family, and they had said that he moved to Texas. And that was it, man. No phone calls, no birthdays, no anything. Just like if he never existed, pretty much, man. So it was just my brother and I and my mom. And that was it. And at first it was sadness, and the sadness lasted for a while. It lasted I don't know, man, a few years. And I can't even tell you that it was a switch, but I think just as time keeps going, the sadness turns into anger, right? And with anger comes a lot of, dysfunction in somebody. And that, along with other things that were going on in my life too, it just, really had me mentally in a bad situation, a bad place, man. But when he was gone, man. So there was no way to contact him. There was no way to call him or anything. So it was just like, it was all over with. Later on in life, did get in contact with him. As a matter of fact, I went to go live with him in South Texas when I was about 16, 17 years old, man, because my mom didn't know what to do with me. At that time, we were living with my aunt, and she didn't want me there at the house anymore. She was kicking me out, but we had nowhere to go. So my mom contacted my dad and said, I got nowhere for him to go. So either, my mom never, she never seeked out child support or never went after him like that or anything of that nature, right? So they put some money together, fly me out to South Texas. Now here's a guy, man, that I have not seen or talked to in, I don't know, man, years. So now he takes me into his home. He's got a wife, he's got a stepson and a daughter, right? Which is my half sister, but I don't know her, and I see her and I'm like, wow, we kind of look the same from the mascara, man. We got the same kind of face, right? So it was kind of a trip, man. And I was only there for about 5-6 months. And then I took a bus back here to Cali. And then there, same thing, contact with him just stopped, But I will say the time that I did spend around him, at that time, I didn't notice it. But later on in life, I look back and I say, wow, the importance of a father being around. At that time, I was 16, homie. My mind was still like in the whole gang thing and everything like that, right? And I didn't really pay attention to what's going on. I didn't really pay attention, going to work with him and everything. To me, I was just like, man, I don't even really want to do this, And I didn't really understand what was going on, right? It was later on in life that I was able to look back and say like, hey, that was actually pretty good for me, man. I'm glad that happened, right? Where there was a time where I was just like, I don't know, I don't even really want to be around this fool, In some way, part of me is kind of mad at him, and but I can look back and say, hey, I learned a lot. I learned a lot from being around him, and the importance of fathers, man, being in the kids' lives. So, like I said, after that, contact stopped, and just recently, not too long ago, now he's got my phone number. I got his phone number. My brother keeps more in contact with him than I do. Him and I don't know, maybe we'll talk 2 times a year, 3 times a year, something like that, man. And he's still trucking. So most of our conversation has to do with keeping between the lines, man. You know what I mean? So, but as far as seeing him, I haven't seen him. He still lives out in Texas, so I haven't seen him in forever, man. But the times that we do talk is pretty much just trucking, man. So
you still have somewhat of a relationship with him
today,
to an
yeah,
extent.
yeah. I mean, I guess the small phone conversations that we have and all. He was down here. You know what? Actually, now I remember the last time I saw him. It wasn't too many years ago. It was probably like 2 years ago now. He was down here, and I took my sons to go see him. And you know, it's the thing about my dad, man. He's not a bad man, you know. He's not an alcoholic. He's not a drug user. He's not into the streets or gangs or anything like that, man. He's not into any of that stuff, right? But at the same time, man, he's pretty much the guy that it's like, hey, you know what? If it ain't working, I'm up, I'm gone, and I you know, if I got kids or whatever, it's cool, man. I'm gonna go start fresh, you know, a new family. He's got, I believe, 10 kids or more, you know, with different women, and he's been married numerous of times, you know. So he's got that reputation where it's like he just starts a family, kids and all, and then he'll just get up and leave if the temperature's not right, you know, and he'll just start a new family, and those kids are just, hey, oh well, right? And one of the cool things about it is I came in contact with one of my half brothers. So that was pretty cool, man. I had him on my channel. We chopped it up a little bit. So I kind of started building a relationship with him a little bit, man. And he's telling me some of the same stories. He would jump on the truck with him as well. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool, man. You know, so just kind of that connection right there is pretty freedom, man. A lot of things that I could see looking back of things that are missing, you know. So yeah, as far as a relationship, yeah, I guess there's a little bit of relationship. I got no hatred for the man. I'll tell you that. You know, all that's gone. So I don't mind talking to him on the phone or anything like that. It's all, you know, it's all good, man.
Seems like your pop was a Rolling Stone, you know.
Yeah, yeah. I guess he was what they called before a rambling man.
Yeah,
you know, a rambling man. He loved the ladies. I always like that saying. It's like, hey, he likes the ladies, man. Well, don't know how the fellas like the ladies, man, but you ain't got to start families and then take off and jam, you know. So that was one thing that was very important to me, man, that when I had kids, and for one reason or another, you know, it's just my brother and I, right? 2 boys that he had with my mom. And when I was young, I said, I want to have 2 boys, right? Just like it was in my situation, but I'm never going to leave them. I'm never going to leave them. And guess what, man? I ended up having 2 boys.
Wow.
I ended up having 2 boys. And even though it didn't work out between their mother and I was always there, man. I was always there. So I was like, I'm not going to leave, man. Wherever they go, I'm going to make sure I'm close. Whenever they're involved in, I'll make sure I'm involved. You know, so throughout their whole sports, I was coach. Man. Parent conference. I can't say I made them to all of them, but I made it to a lot of them. When there was a problem at school, I was there, man. Everything. I did everything I possibly could, man, to be there in their lives. And today, I have a great relationship with both of my sons, man. So it was that was one thing that really stuck with me.
That's good, because being a part of a child's life is very important, whether it's the mother or the father. I think that plays a big part in their life and the direction that they're headed in their life. Because, hey, man, you know, kids are very sentimental and they take everything in at a young age. So when they see things like this, if their mother leaves or that father leaves or they're on drugs, it affects them.
Yeah.
It may not affect them right then and there, but in life, later in life, it becomes sometimes a huge problem.
Yeah, I mean, look, kids are sponges, man.
Right.
So, you know, they're taking in whatever's around them, whatever, you know, whatever's happening in their lives, man. So they're sponges, and you know, it molds them to what they become later on in life. And if they're able to understand later on in life, it's like, okay, why am I this way? Oh, it's because of this that happened in my life. Now I got to work on myself. But some people don't know that. Some people are just like, hey, I am who I am, and that's that. You know, why do I have this attitude problem? It's just me. That's just who I am, right? And don't even make the effort to change, right? I mean, I was all messed up. I was a mess myself, man, until I realized, like, okay, what's going on with me, man? Like, I don't like being this certain type of individual. I don't like thinking this way. I know the person that I want to be, but how come I'm not getting there? You know, and then I just kind of brush it off like, well, you know, it's not for me. That's why. Because it's not for me, because that's not who I am, right? So it was just in recent years for myself personally that I realized, no, that is for me. That is for me. I just got to work on myself. And I got to connect the dots on why I am this way. What happened? What's going on? Why are some people making it there and I'm not? You know, oh, it's just for them. God just intended it that way. You know, no, we all got the same abilities to make it where we want to get to. But a lot of people just want to, you know, tap out and just say like, well, that's just who I am, man. Can't change who you are. Right, but you are that way because of the events that took place in your life. So there was one thing that I thought about, right, that I never spoke about, you know, ever before till just in recent time, being sexually molested as a kid. You know, I was a kid and I was sexually molested. I'll tell you this, you know, it happened multiple times with different people, right? Different parts of my childhood with different people, right? One being a neighbor, one being a family member, and the other person just being like a friend of the family pretty much. And after all that, you know, once I got into my teens and 20s, I never thought about it. It was almost like it never happened, you know. Yet, my mind is messed up, man. You know, I'm running amok, Holmes. You know, even having kids, you know, even with 2 sons, man, where I'm supposed to be a responsible parent. I'm being responsible in the sense of financially, I'm taking care of them, right? However, the person that I am, that's not really the dad you really want kids around, right? So, you know, I'm pretty much a mess. And, hey, homie, I had that same mentality. Like, hey, well, that's just who I am, dog. You know what? I just am who I am. Can't change that. And it was just in recent time where I was just thinking like, man, dog, like, this is it. Like this is gonna be my life, right? Everybody just thinks about feria. Everyone just thinks about money. Everyone just thinks about, you know, hey, go make that money. Hey, grab that bag. You know, like that. Like if that's what life is all about, look, you can make it. If that's what life is for you, orale, Holmes, go do it, right? If that's all you're seeking is just feria and grab the bag and make the bag and everything, dog. Hey, homie, to me, that's not what really life is all about, man. You know, for example, you can think of so many millionaires / even billionaires, right? End up committing suicide. They're all drugged up, right? ODing. Well, what happened? I thought they're happy. No, they're not happy, man. Right? There's that old saying, money doesn't buy happiness, right? That's very true. However, people just want to make more money, and I understand that. But how many people today will win, say, the lottery, and then they'll be broke like in 2 years, 3 years? There was an actual show I used to watch that the lottery ruined my life. A lot of people, because they still don't value themselves, right? They still haven't changed within here and here to value life for what it is. It's just real quick satisfaction. It's like, I'm gonna be satisfied, I'm gonna go buy me a new car. Boom, yeah, okay, dog, but, and when you buy that new car, it's like, hey man, in this new car, man, nobody eats, I'm not gonna eat, everything's gonna be clean, everything's gonna be, because it's a brand new car, right? Fast forward 24 months, dog. Man, you're eating a Big Mac in there, you know, with some fries and barbecue sauce. Why, dog? Because that was just temporary, man. All that stuff is just very temporary, right? It's the value of life that you put into it, man. And this is just all in recent, because I was, like I said, man, I was a mess, man. Maybe some people didn't see it. That's cool. I hid it very well. But I was mentally, emotionally, I was a mess, big dog. I was really a mess, man. And I started connecting dots of things that had happened in my childhood and things that I needed to work on, man. And, you know, once I let that anger go, a lot of things opened up for me, man. Just life just opened up. I was able to see a lot of hypocrisy in the way that I was living, contradiction, in basically, like I said, in the life that I was living, man, and why I wasn't getting to that spot that I wanted to get there and that I wanted to get to. And like I said, I'm not even talking about financially, but why I couldn't be that person. And I feel blessed now because now I am working to be that person. I know I'm going to be that person. I know that's what I'm seeking now. And it's a great feeling, man. It's a great feeling. And every day is a blessing, Bobby. Every day that I'm able to wake up, it's a blessing, Holmes.
What helped you get through all that emotion and stuff that you were going through when you were younger? What later in life, what helped you get through all that?
Well, I was able to forget, well, maybe forget's not the right word, but I guess I was able to distract myself with a lot of the bad things in life, right? The drinking, the drugs, the homies, the hyenas, all that stuff, man. So that was able to just distract me. And just like a new car, all that stuff is fun, but it's just temporary, you know? And later on, I'm thinking like, man, you know what? I'm just getting older, you know, aren't we all? Every day we're a day older, right? So I'm just like, man, like, am I gonna be like this, man? Am I just gonna keep doing this, you know, forever, or what's going on, man? You know, so I I knew interests that I had in life, but I wasn't really taking them serious because I was my mind was still so caught up in other things in life. I said, like, you know what? I'm gonna start a YouTube channel, man. I'm gonna start a YouTube channel, and I'm just gonna speak my mind. And the whole purpose of the YouTube channel, the whole purpose of the YouTube channel was basically for me to look back and look at that individual, right? And judge that individual being myself, right? A lot of people don't like to hear themselves talk. They don't like to see themselves on screen, things of that nature, man, right? But when you look at yourself on how you sound, what you're talking about, your thoughts, your beliefs, and everything like that, man, and you judge that person, not as yourself, but you just judge that individual. Okay, is this somebody that I want to hang around with? Is this somebody that I want in my life, right? So that's why I started the YouTube channel, and it was basically Cholo Trucker, because when I first started it, I was just trucking and just talking, right? On just different things, different events, everything that's going on, man, and spoke about just so many things, right? And I was just talking, I just throw it out there. And the reason why I did it on YouTube was because I wanted other people to kind of give their intake as well, man. But I knew ultimately it was just for me. And it was really just supposed to be a year-long project. And through that year, which, you know, ironically, it was the year 2020. I think everybody remembers that year, man, because of the whole shutdowns and everything. I was able to look, and I was just like, man, I don't like the way I sound, Holmes, right? I don't mean, the sound of my voice. I just mean what I'm saying. I don't like, I'm cussing a lot, I see a lot of anger. I see a lot of pain that's masked, right? I see somebody that's struggling in life, but doesn't want to open up and get to the root of the problem. And slowly I started, making some changes and just seeing myself and evolving in my life. And at one point, I started looking back and like, hey, why did I turn out to be this way? What's going on and everything? And there were numerous events, right, in my life. And I was just like, okay, cool. You know what? Anger. I'm angry. I'm not sure if I ever at the time really felt the anger, right? But it was there. And I was able to let that anger go, right? This is all from me looking at myself and judging myself and seeing a person that I don't really want to be associated with. And I was able to let go of that anger. I let go of that anger, and like I said, life just opened up. Everything just bam, and it was almost like I could see. Now I felt like I was locked up, man. I felt like I was incarcerated, and I felt like I was just released. Like I had just got released, right? With no parole or anything like that. Like just boom, I just felt free, man. And I can look back at it now and be like, damn. Like I carried a lot. Like I was just held down. I felt so damn heavy, man. Where now I just feel real light, and I just feel free, man. Like I just physically, yes, I was still able to get up and walk outside and, do whatever. But that's the incarceration that's here, and here, man, was just so heavy. Where now it's like, man, I almost feel like Tony Montana, one was coming to me, the world, chico. It's just now everything visually, everything, man, in just life. I'm not, by no means whatsoever am I saying that, hey, man, I know everything, because I don't, right? But now I'm able to learn with an open heart, open mind, and take so much more in, man, that I felt like I had just closed myself off many times, man. Looking back, and great opportunities that I had, man, that I just passed up because I myself personally had just kind of put myself in this box. And I didn't know it at the time. I thought I was doing the right thing, man. But yeah, so just the YouTube channel, Cholo Trucker, which I ended at the beginning of 2021, and a couple of people that I had met through YouTube, good individuals were like, oh man, you gotta bring it back and everything, man, you gotta do your thing. And I had people getting back to me as well that were, that would watch the channel and everything. And I was just like, man, I did enjoy doing it. I did enjoy doing it, man. So it was, I don't know, probably like 3 months after I ended it or so, 3-4 months, I was just like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna continue doing it, man, because I really liked it. And it is a form of therapy, man. So I just jumped back on it and started doing it ever since, man. And now I got 3 YouTube channels. So yeah, and I've grown as a person, I don't know if it's because of it, but it's definitely helped out. Absolutely, man.
Yeah, I remember, doing this, anything in front of a camera or interviews or podcasts, I think it is a form of therapy in a way, because, people get to be themselves. They get to express themselves the way they wouldn't usually express themselves. For some reason, the cameras and the lighting, it does that. Right. And I've noticed this in the time that I've been doing it. And, it's important. I think it's very important for someone to express themselves and to get off their chest what they want to say. Because in a regular setting, I don't think they feel comfortable doing that.
Right.
Right. When you started your channel, it started off as like a blog. The trucking, you were in the truck, you were doing your spills in there, which was cool. But like everything progresses, everything changes for the better, and you realize that you saw what was wrong, and now you got your own channel going on. You got 3 channels going on right now.
Yeah.
You know, and at first you were gonna quit after a year.
Right.
Look at you now, 3 channels going strong. That year turned to like, you know, it's going to go further and further. Yeah. How is that now? How are you now with that, with the whole being in front of a camera? Do you look at yourself the same way, or do you recognize the progression?
Yeah, look, at first it was all weird to me, man. It's like being in front of a camera, like, nah, Charlie, dog, I don't want to be in front of a camera. I don't want to talk in front of a camera, right? My mindset was different. It's like, nah, dog, don't film me. Don't record anything I'm saying. Like, I don't do that stuff, right? Now, man, it's I'm like, yeah, that's cool, man. You know, if anybody ever invites me anywhere, whether it's a camera or whatever, I always feel blessed and honored, man. You know, if anybody invites me to their platform or whatever it may be, I always feel blessed and honored, and I do everything I possibly can to make it, right? Because you're finding interest in me to invite you onto your platform, no matter how big, how small, whatever it may be, or you want me to be part of a music video or whatever, which I was, man, with a good man, Dino, man. I was part of a music video where I was getting jumped, you know? So, but it's you know what? I find it's fun, man. It's fun. I find it very entertaining, man. It's fun, and it's something that I probably would have never done had I not, taken that first step, So I like it, I like it, man. I feel comfortable with the cameras now. Where, like I said, at first I would have been like, hey, don't even record what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, nah, Charlie, dog. But now I find it fun, man. I'm having a good time, man. I'm having a good time with this, so it's definitely a blessing, dog.
It's funny, man, because when I was younger, I wanted to be a trucker. There was this one movie with Sylvester Stallone that came out. It was called Over the Top. And that movie just, I think everybody wanted to be a trucker after that after that movie. You remember that movie?
Oh, yeah, man. Of course, man. Man, I still watch it. To this day, man. Look, even the songs in that movie. Right. I'm not lying, man. I truck it. Every now and then I'll throw on those. Yeah, meet me halfway. Oh, right. Yeah, dog. Yes, man. Over the Top, man. How can I forget? I was watching. Okay, so I go on YouTube, right, to listen to some of these songs, right, and one of them is it's playing the song In This Country, right, which is the opening song in the movie Over the Top, and it just shows different clips of the movie Over the Top, right, and in the first comment that I saw, there was somebody left a comment right there, and it rang so true, man. It said, I grew up without my father. Well, I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember exactly word for word, but it says something along the lines like, I grew up without my father, and I always saw Lincoln Hawk as being my dad. And I read that comment, and I'm like, yeah, I kind of did too, man. I kind of did too. I looked at certain figures in movies as being my dad, which was kind of weird, man, because I do have like this love and passion for movies today, well, not today, I always have, right? I always loved like old school 70s, 80s, 90s action movies, man. And I always kind of saw some of these characters as, I don't know, like a father figure, but it'd be like, man, it's cool. It'd be cool like if that was my dad.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it kind of connected me with those movies, man. Looking back at it, some of these actors had some, problems and issues of their own. But at that time, being a kid, I really connected with those movies. Some of those, especially some of these like action stars, right, that were around back then. I was just like, man, That's cool, man. Like that's almost like my dad. Like if that's how I wanted my dad to be if I had a dad, man. So I reconnected with a lot of these action movies and stuff.
It's funny because I felt the same way. You see Commando with Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know what I'm saying, Rambo. You're like, man, it'd be cool to have a dad like that. You know what I'm saying? Somebody cool like that, strong as hell. Always get the pretty women and stuff like that. I think we all thought about that. There's certain songs that you can listen to now that are back in the day songs, like you just said, that it's like a switch. That song come on, it'll take you right back. You know, like the song you just over the top song, the Karate Kid song, "You're the Best."
Yes.
You know, you hear any of those. They might be cheesy songs now, but back in the day, those songs, they meant something.
Yeah, man. As a matter of fact, just to give you a little insight, man, you know, I try to keep myself in shape, man. You know, I work out and stuff like that. Well, hey, man, I'm not kidding.
You got a playlist.
I got a playlist. A lot of the songs on those playlists, man, are some of those old Rocky songs. I got Eye of the Tiger on there. Yeah. I got a lot of that music, man. As cheesy as it sounds, let me tell you something. Those songs do pump you up. That music does pump you up, man.
Till this day.
Till this day, man. Till this day. I'm playing that music. You know, I got my earbuds in, and I'm just feeling it. I'm like, whew, man, let's go, man. And I'm, you know, Eye of the Tiger and whatever it may be, man. Even that Karate Kid song, "You're the Best." I'm like, yeah, man. I'm bumping in my ears, and I'm, you know, hitting my pull-ups and push-ups, dog, or running on the treadmill, whatever it may be, Holmes. And it works, man. It works.
It's crazy because there's a show that's out that has all those old songs, and I don't know if you've heard it. It's Cobra Kai.
Oh yeah.
Hey, man.
Oh yeah.
That show has all the old school jams.
Hey, man. You know what? That show right there, I think, is so special because it's connecting generations. You know, my kids are 18 and 21, right? You got kids even younger than them watching Cobra Kai. And then you got dudes in their 50s watching Cobra Kai and everybody in between. That show right there has connected generations, right? Whatever separates, you know, generations, whatever it may be, like every 10 years, right? Music, all this stuff, right? That all this interest that is different, right? It's like, I don't know who sings today. I don't know who's around today. Anytime I hear some music of today, I'm not really down with it, man, for the most part, right? Even movies, right? I love my old school 90s and 80s movies, man. To me, it's like, damn, that was the time, right? All these things that separate us from generations, right? Cars and everything like that you're into. That show right there has brought a lot of generations together, man, which is crazy because you can have a 12-year-old talking, you know, Cobra Kai with, you know, their 50-year-old relative. And they're right there and they have something in common. They're both talking about Cobra Kai, the show, and what do they think about it? They might have a different view of it, but they're sharing that experience together. You know, so that's a good thing, man. That's definitely a good thing. I can't really think off the top of my head. I can't think of another show that's done that, man. At least not on that level. So
a great producer, man. Great producer, man. Whoever did that show was on point with that.
Yeah, man. Really good, man.
So, man, back. It's been a while, but you were part of a fight.
Oh yeah,
a boxing match.
Yes, sir.
Official Cholo Trucker against Gunners Collective.
Yeah.
Two podcasters, right? I mean, from opposite sides. One's a southerner, one's a northerner. And the show was to bring unity and, you know, to bring respect, unity, and togetherness. And it brought in numbers. Some people were against it, some people were with it. But overall, it was a great turnout. And what was... How do you even get that spot?
Yeah. So first of all, man, this is actually the hat that I wore to the ring. This is the actual hat, man.
That's the iconic hat.
This is it right here. There's the hat that I wore to the ring, man, and after the fight. It all came to be, man. It was with Sonny Boy Acosta. Sonny Boy Acosta, I started getting involved with my guys, man. Pablo from the LA Times and Big Joe Castro, Sonny Boy. I started getting involved with those guys, man. And, bunch of good dudes, man. I'm still good friends with them today, man. Till this day, a bunch of good guys, man. And I'm very proud for those friendships, man. And I'm very happy to have those guys, man, in my life. But Sonny and I, man, for one reason or another, we kind of built like this friendship rivalry. I don't know how it came to be. It just came to be, man, right? So one day, they're on a live, right? They go live on LA Times with Pablo, and Sonny's there as well. So I don't exactly remember how fighting came up to be, but I'm like, you know what? I was thinking to Sonny. I was just like, hey, you know what? Maybe we should hold some sort of event, man, where you and I have like a nice little fun, I don't know, lucha match or something like that. Looking at Sonny and how he moves, what the heck was I thinking, But I just thought it'd be fun, man. I was thinking like, hey, we could have vendors come and they could sell their things and just bring some gente together, man, hold a little event and things of that nature, man. So when they were on their live, they were kind of sort of talking about it a little bit, and somebody on the chat had said, hey, how about Cholo Trucker versus Gunner in a fight? That's something I would pay for. I think it was somewhere along that line. And I wasn't even part of the live. So Pablo was all like, oh man, you know what? That's actually pretty good. And he's saying it right there on the live. And he said, hey, Cholo Trucker said he'd fight anybody, right, in the ring. And I did. I had told Pablo, I'm like, hey, if we hold an event, man, we can have a couple of guys bring some gloves out and we could just spar it out or something like that, man. So he's all like, you'll spar with anybody or fight anybody? I'm like, yeah, dog. I mean, it's not like we're going to kill each other or anything like that. So I guess that's where the idea came. And then all this happened on lives, man. All this happened on YouTube, right? There was really not a lot of talking behind the scenes when this first came to be. Once it got rolling, then there was a lot of talking behind the scenes, getting everything together. But to get this agreement going, it all happened in front of the camera. It all happened on YouTube, man. So one day, we're doing a roundtable on LA Times. And Primo was part of it, Con Ganas. He was part of it, man. And Pablo's all like, before he pushed record, he's all like, hey, bro, I got something I want to ask you, but we're going to start recording first, and then I'll ask you. I'm like, okay, cool. I had no idea what it was. Pushes record, and then he says, would you get in a boxing match? Again, I'm paraphrasing. I don't remember the exact words. Would you get in the boxing ring, pretty much, and fight Gunner? And yeah, man, yeah. Let's do it, man. Let's do it. If it's for the right reason, for the right cause, man. If we can raise a little bit of money for some charity and everything like that, of course, man. Of course. It was never, for me, it was never about. I want to show off, or I want to, I got something on my chest. I want to get off my chest. Or to me, it was never anything about that, man. It was about a certain message that I want to put out there and raise money for the right reasons, man. And it happened. It happened. We made it happen. Once Gunner agreed, and even he gave his agreement on YouTube as well. Once all that was, it was a go for me, it was a go for him, then everybody got together, and then that's when a lot of things, behind the scenes started working and we'd meet once a week on Zoom calls to get this event together. So yeah, man, it was good, man, and I was able to raise the money to give to the Rock World Outreach and Stop the Silence, which Stop the Silence is it works with kids globally that have been sexually molested, and the Rock World Outreach is their home church is in San Bernardino, but they spread out, throughout the world, man. So yeah, it was a good event, and when that happened, I was, man, you know what? I want to do other things too, man. So it just kept going, man. So
the domino effect. So
yeah.
Since then, good shit, by the way. But since then, you've been involved in all kinds of things now. You did the Alcatraz swim.
Yeah.
The Alcatraz swim, bro.
Yes.
There's sharks infested in those waters, and you're taking a swim with. How'd that come about?
So I first made the announcement on Street Post Podcast, man. Everybody could go back and check that out, man. Right there with you, Bobby. I was up in San Francisco, and I was up there to go watch the Dodgers play the San Francisco Giants. And while I was up there, Pastor David Rocha, he came down and he showed us around. He showed us around San Francisco, took us to a couple of cool Firmes places, man, that I would have never seen, Got to saw some bunkers, man, old school bunkers for after Pearl Harbor, after the attack on Pearl Harbor, some bunkers that were built, man. And I was able to go inside of them because it's all abandoned now. And it's right on the cliffs, right off the ocean. I never even knew about any of this, man. So I was there. I mean, some Firme stuff, man, going around the Mission District and everything. So one of the places that we went was up on, I forgot the name. I think it's called like Twin Peaks or something, man. If I'm wrong, Spencer. But you're basically able to see everything, right? You see the Golden Gate Bridge, you see Alcatraz, and we started talking about the guys that escaped, that supposedly escaped. Did they make it? Did they not make it? Whatever. Yeah. Right. So I'm recording, and I said, like, man, you know what? I'd like to try that swim. Just to see if I can make it, right? Because I thought, like, from that far of a distance, it doesn't look too far. And I'm like, I like to try it, man. Boom, and I uploaded it on my channel, and somebody gets back at me in the comment section, and they say, "Hey, if you're really interested in that swim, they do that swim. They orchestrate it, and they do that swim." I'm like, really? And it just hit me. I'm like, I got to do this. I got to do this. I said I wanted to do it. So I got to do this, man. So immediately looked into it. And just had found out that the last one had just passed like a week before that. And I looked up to upcoming dates because I knew I needed to train for this. So I was just like, okay, I picked that date, signed up, boom, I'm in. And I made the announcement on your show, man. I said, I'm going to do it, man. Let's do it. So just started training, man. I never got a chance to swim in the ocean, though. That was the thing, man. Being a truck driver, working 60 hours, 50, 60 hours a week, your time, you got to make time, And
how do you prep for something like that?
Oh, man. So I joined a gym that had a swimming pool, an Olympic-style size swimming pool. And I would just jump in that sucker, man, and just take laps. And then I would, somebody told me about, and I can't remember the name of the swimming, but it's a certain type of swimming. So I started looking it up on YouTube, right? Because me, I could swim, but I swam like everybody else does with their head above the water. I'm like, well, that's swimming to me. But no, that's not swimming. You're just keeping your head above the water and staying afloat, man. In reality, your face is supposed to be in the water. Your head is supposed to be facing forward, right? And I'm like, damn, okay, because your body is supposed to pretty much be floating on top of the water. And every time you lift your head, the back of your body, your feet go down. And now you're dragging yourself. And that's how most people swim. So when you put your head in the water, right, the back of your legs and everything rises up. And now you're kind of just like a boat, kind of like floating. So I had to teach myself how to swim like that, man. And I was watching different videos and just taking different advice and everything, man, and trying it out for myself and seeing how it goes. And then I asked some people there at the gym, hey, man, are my legs up when I'm swimming? Can you watch me and everything? They're like, oh, yeah. And then I met this Asian guy, and I think he swam in college, and he's an older guy. And I only ran into him twice, but the 2 times I ran into him, he gave me a couple of pointers. I'm like, okay, cool, feed him in, man. And he's all like, yeah, you're doing it right, man. So just keep at it. So you just swim, man, and as soon as you reach one end, boom, you don't take a break, and you just, man, for an hour or so, you just keep going, man. You just keep on going, and it sucked, Bobby. It sucked, man. I almost regretted making that commitment, making that proclamation, because now once I said it, I'm like, I have to do it now, So, but I hated it, man. I hated it because when you think of swimming, it's fun. It's like you think of yourself hanging around in the pool, messing around at the pool. It's fun, man. Who doesn't like, swimming? Right? But you're not swimming. You're just messing around in the pool, jumping around, splashing around. Every now and then you might take a lap or so. And I'm like, yeah, I like the water. I like swimming. Nah, Charlie, homie. If you guys really get into swimming, real swimming, nah, you're probably, some of you might like it. Some of you might love it, man. But I came to find out that, nah, dog, real swimming, I just rather be a jackass in the water, that type of swimming, man, where you're just messing around, but actual, real, true swimming, nah, I'm good, man, because it's hard work. You got to learn how to breathe. You remember your face is in the water, so every time you come up for a recovery, you just bring your face up with it. You just slightly turn. You don't lift your head. You just slightly turn. Take one breath, boom, you're back in. Take a few strokes, again, and that's that, man. That's that, and you're like that for a while, dog.
How brutal was that swim?
So the swim itself, man, so obviously the pools are heated. So I take freezing cold showers anyway. And they have a cold pool there at the gym. It's just like the size of a jacuzzi, right? I think it's a 35-degree pool. So I would dunk myself in there, try to get myself acclimated with cold water. But it's not the same, because once we went out there, jumping in the ocean, it's different water, man. It's just different water. They take you out. You never touch Alcatraz. You're just right next to it. That's it. You see it. You're right there. You're right there. You jump off, and that's it. They say, hey, as soon as you touch the water, just start swimming. It's like, cool. Jump off. The water, the shock hits you of how cold it is. And then you get up and you start swimming. But everything's different, man. Everything's different. The water's different. Obviously, the environment's different. The water is super choppy. At least at that time it was. It's hard. It's hard, man. It's hard. It's pretty brutal. For somebody that has never done it, it's difficult, right? There are people that were there, right? When I was taking that boat ride, there was a lot of people there that were talking about, oh man, I just did the San Diego swim. A lot of these guys, right, that are, dolphins pretty much, man, that this is what they do. To them, this is their stuff, man. This is their life, right? And I'm just there kind of just like nodding my head, just like, yeah. I didn't want anybody to know that, hey, I don't belong there, right? But for the first time, for anybody who does this for the very first time that's never swam in ocean water like that, man, yeah, it's tough, man, and the water's choppy, and I drank, I don't know, man, maybe a gallon of ocean water. You can't help it, man. It's going up your nose. I mean, the water's splashing all over the place, right? It's nothing like the pool. There's just the feel of it is so much more different. The water feels so much thicker, right? You get the goggles on, and when you open your eyes looking down, you can't see anything. It's just dark, man. You know, you could probably see like this close, but that, you can't see your hand anymore. And I always thought that I'll be okay because we're all in a group, right? That's not the case. The current, the ocean's doing its thing, and it starts separating everybody, right? Because I've ran 5Ks, I've ran 10Ks, I've, you know, done certain events, mud runs, Spartans, Tough Mudders, and everything like that. And no matter what, you're never really truly alone. You can always see, even, you know, the Spartan race is a 13-mile obstacle course. And no matter what, you're able to see people. Yeah, at first you all go together, but you separate, right, as time goes on. But you're always seeing people behind you, in front of you, right, even if it's in a distance. Well, in this case, at one point, I didn't see anybody. I didn't see not one person.
Not one soul.
Not one soul. And they give you these bright yellow, greenish caps so you can stick out. And I stop at one point, man, and because I'm getting closer and closer to the Golden Gate Bridge. I'm like, damn, it's taking me out to the ocean, open waters, man. And I'm like, damn, man. And I'm turning, I could see where I need to swim to. So I turn my body, and boom, I'm going. And then I stop, I put my head up. Now I'm facing a different direction. And I'm like, wait, I'm supposed to be going that way, huh? I'm like, what the hell's going on? You know, the ocean, man, nature does what nature does, man. And at some point, I don't see a soul around, nobody. And I'm thinking, they forgot about me, or I'm gone, man, you know? And that's when you start thinking, if I get attacked right now, I don't think anybody knows I'm here, you know, because like you said, sharks and everything, right? But I always thought like, hey, you know what? We'll be in a group, man. If something gets me or something, there's gonna be a lot of people. There's gonna be boats all over the place. Boom, you know what? They get me out, man, medical attention, whatever it may be. But I never thought that I felt like there was no one else in the water, man. I felt like I looked around, there's nobody else, Bobby. And it's like, damn, it's a scary situation, man. And you just, the waves are just hitting you in the face. Or it's like, you start swimming. At one point, a boat did come. He's all like, hey, swimmer, here, grab onto this rope. You're getting way too far out, okay? And there was a couple of people that they had to bring back to the course, right? I guess they had a course. I didn't see any cones that I went past or anything like that. So they don't take you to shore. They just swim across, and they're like, okay, from here, you see that building? Swim to that building. It's like, okay, boom. So I start swimming to that building. And same thing, man, nature just starts taking you off course. But I see that I'm making progress, though. I see that I'm getting closer. I'm not going to lie. At one point, I felt like just waving my hand and saying like, hey, that's it. Because they said, hey, if you no longer want to do it, you wave your hand up above you as high as you can, and we get you out. It did cross my mind, Holmes. You know, it did cross my mind. You know, doubt starts setting in. It's like you start thinking like, okay, I've never done this. I've never swam in the ocean like this. I mean, as a kid, I've gone to the beach and messed around in the beach and the ocean, and, you know, have the waves knock you down and everything. But that's not actual swimming, you know, in the open water like that. And, you know, you start telling yourself like, you know what, you bit off a little more than you can chew. You didn't train properly. this isn't for you. You know, you weren't prepared. You know, and you start telling yourself like, it's not your fault, man. You know, it's no hard feelings, man. This is your first time, and it's like, come back, do it again, man, and you'll come back stronger. And when I said that to myself, I'm like, wait, what the hell am I saying? Come back and do this again. Chale, dog. I got like 3/4 of ocean water that I've drank so far. I'm not going to come back and do this again. Nah, the time is now, homie. You know, so I'm like, what the hell? So I stopped thinking about any doubt, and I shift that energy to get to shore. Okay? Stop thinking about anything. Stop thinking about, wildlife that's underneath you. Stop thinking about the coldness. Stop thinking about anything, man. Everything now, nothing in the world matters. Nothing except you making it to shore. Every thought, every prayer, every ounce, every fiber in your body is just focused on you making it to that sand over there. Now do it. Boom, I go, man, I go. And finally, man, I made it. And when I made it to shore, I got up and my legs felt so weak, I had to take a seat. I couldn't really stand right. So I stood up, and then, whoa, man, my knees started buckling. I kind of, not collapsed, but I just felt like, okay, let me just sit. Let me just sit for a little bit, And then I was able to get up and move around a little bit more, man. And
what did that accomplishment feel like, man? You felt accomplished at that moment.
At that very moment, no. But later on, yeah, man. Later on, yes. I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I did it. Would I do it again? No, probably not, man. If I ever do it again, I got to make sure I train properly, But no, it's good, man. If you get certain people that might say things like, that's stupid, or that's lame, or for what, and it's like, for what? Well, not for you, but for me. It is something for me, Holmes. And that moment of the strive, just that moment that I explained where I had the doubt and I turned it around, that right there does something to a person. It makes them believe in themselves a little bit more. It gives them more of that boost of confidence. Because that swim, along with so many other things that you can do, you can relate it to life, right? We all know life has its own obstacles, man. And sometimes it throws things at you where it's like, where the hell did this come from? Everything was good. We were just on course. What is this that came, knocked me off course? I wasn't even, messing with any of this or messing with any of that, right? But nonetheless, that's life, right? So stop with the complaining and now overcome that. The why, the if, all that stuff, hey, it's there now. It happened. Okay? Get over that. And then you can look at it like, okay, how can I prevent this from happening again? Now let me dissect this so this doesn't happen again. And it's not a guarantee that it won't happen again. But see, putting ourselves in discomfort, right, builds some sort of character in people where I don't want to complain. I want to get past it. It's not, let's live a life where we're problem free. No, it's live a life where you got the strength and the guidance to overcome the problems. Everybody's going to have problems in life. Everybody's going to have problems in life, right? I think people so many times seek a life where I don't want any problems. Well, nobody wants problems. But hey, Holmes, it's a part of life. Okay, it just is. Now, a lot of problems you can avoid. A lot of problems are your own doing, right? But even though you could live as perfect as you'd like to be, but you're still going to have problems. Okay? Don't wish for a non-problem life, because that does not exist. Instead, give yourself the strength, build that to overcome the problems, where those problems are not stifling in your life. Those problems, while they come and they're going to hit you, and they might hit you hard, that you can overcome it. That's what one should strive for. Because a problem-free life, Bobby, everybody knows. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist, man. So that's things like that. When I was out there, man, it built that. It built that. It made me realize that, and I'm like, okay, cool. I accomplished it. For those that are like, for what? That was lame. Whatever it may be. Okay, cool, man. It's for me. It's my life, right? And now it gave me this more boost to go out and seek more, man. To go out and seek more. And if there's problems that come with it, that's cool, man. Let me overcome those problems. Not, oh, you know what? I want this here, but to get to this here, I got to go through this right here. And because I don't want to go through this right here, I'm just not going to do it. So thus I'll never get here. It's like, nah, chale, you know what? I want to get here, and I got to go through this here. Well, you know what? I got to get the strength to get past this and this and this and this to get to there. Instead of looking at it and saying like, yeah, but I don't want to do all this other stuff, man. You are now debilitating yourself. You are now just defeating yourself. So, things like that, putting your life in discomfort, man, does a lot. It does a lot. Being comfortable all the time truly weakens people. It does. It weakens you. If that's all you seek every single day, I'm just going to be comfortable and just comfortable and just comfortable and just comfortable. I don't want to go over here. I don't want to go over there. I don't want to do this. I don't want to talk to this person. I don't want to deal with that. You know what? Just comfort, just comfort, just comfort, just comfort. Next thing you know, man, you're building a weak character. You're building just a lot of weakness inside of you. So when something heavy does come to you, you did not build yourself right to deal with said problem. So, putting human beings, we live in a time or, in a place, man, that a lot of things have become easier, right? But nobody wants to admit it, right? You think of humanity way back in the days, right? It's like people had to build their own homes, with their hands. People had to go out and hunt for their own food. People had to learn how to fight and stay in shape in case there was no hudas that you call. I'm talking about way back in the day. There was no cops that you call. They come. It's like, no, man, the man of the house and the sons, heck, even the women need to learn how to use some sort of weapon, man, in case somebody comes. It's just you to defend. There's no 911. There's no anything. There's none of that, right? If you don't go out and hunt for your food or anything like that, you don't eat, right? And as time goes out, I'll give you a more updated version, right? I got an '84 El Camino, right, lowrider, right, and the power steering in it just went out. Okay, the power steering pump, right, and I had to drive it. Okay, now I haven't driven a vehicle without power steering in a long time. It was a struggle, Hums. It was a struggle. There is no making the turn just like, with your hand out the window, bumping. That ain't happening, homie. You're pointing, damn. So many things in life that we've taken for granted, right? And it just happens, right? It just evolves, and we're just used to having something so easy like power steering, where it's just a finger, where now I'm working this sucker. It's like, damn. And I got back it into my garage. And, usually back in the garage, it's just like, man, all right, nah, not this time, dog. It's like, damn, getting a workout on, homie. things have gotten easier, but yet people are complaining more. Well, why are people complaining more? Because there's so much comfort. You now need to put yourself in discomfort. Discomfort, yes. Put yourself in discomfort. Okay, it builds something in you. You know, you can become a stronger individual, a stronger person. You know, when I started doing a lot of these runs and mud runs and everything and things like that, man, or just even taking like freezing cold showers, you know, I recommend that. Does it have any health benefits to it? A lot of people say that it does. I can't vouch for that, but I'm just saying it's putting you in discomfort and just mentally knowing that I did that. You know, I took a freezing cold shower. You know, it's supposed to be good for the hair, it's supposed to be good for the skin, it's supposed to be good for the blood flow. Does it really do all that? I got no idea. But here's what it does do. When I'm in that freezing cold water, I'm not thinking about anything else. I could have a bad day, whatever it may be, man. I'm not thinking about anything else. My mind is just blank, dog. You know, I get out of that shower, I feel a lot of tingling around my body, man. And it feels good. Not while I'm in the cold water, but once I get out, then I feel good. And not only that, just mentally knowing that I did that, the discipline that it took to do that, that I have the option of hot water and I could sit there and be like, you know, nice, but I didn't. I put myself in some sort of discomfort. Mentally, it does something for you, right? Fasting. I just came off of fasting for 48 hours, 2 days. There was really no real medical reason for me to do that. I'm not looking to lose weight. I'm not looking to do any of that. But I just made a commitment that I'm going to be doing this throughout this year. So I went 2 days without eating, just drinking water. And is it a good time? No, it's not a good time. But see, mentally, of course I have access to food, right? My refrigerator still has a bunch of food. People still eating around me, you know? I could easily break the fast like nothing, man. It's not like, oh man, I have hard access to food, man. No, food is all around. But just knowing that I put myself through that, knowing that I did it, builds a discipline. Lets you know I did this, okay, and you can build off that, man. You can build off it, you know. So yeah, you put yourself in discomfort. It lets you know how many things around us have just made us real comfortable in life. But yeah, you got so many people just complaining about life, man. You know.
You know, a life without adversity isn't a life at all, because with adversity comes growth. And you just said it, you know, to put yourself in a situation where it's uncomfortable, because that's when the growth comes out. If you're used to something every day, it becomes you get used to it. You're used to eating every day. You get used to warm baths and the cable TV and everything like that. These are things that we've come to it's readily available to us.
Right.
There's no worries, like, no real worries, right? We worry about, we missed the show. Right. That's our worry. I missed the show, man, I shouldn't have missed it. It's going to ruin my life. What are you talking about? There's people out there that are really struggling, that really got real things that they're going through. But we don't know it. You know what I'm saying? And you got to put yourself in that situation where you got to put yourself in an uncomfortable situation. You should be looking to put yourself in an uncomfortable situation. And I'm not saying a dangerous situation. I'm saying an uncomfortable situation. Yeah. So you can grow out of it. You know, if you did a 1 mile run and it took a lot out of you, so your next run should be a 3 mile run. Right? Right. Put yourself in the 3 mile run now. You know, you ain't going to get off that easy. You got to control your mind. Don't let your mind control you. You control your mind. You know who said it best? David Goggins. I don't know if you're familiar with the guy.
No.
He's an ex-Marine. He took the test 3 times. He ran marathons with broken legs and all this shit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this guy, he's insane.
Yeah.
He's an insane guy. But he's got that attitude where, fuck it. I'm going to do it because I said I'm going to do it. My mind doesn't want to do it, but fuck my mind. I run my mind. Yeah. I make the choice. I don't let my mind make the choice. My mind's already programmed to comfort me, to keep me out of danger.
Right.
No, you got to reprogram your fucking mind. You tell your mind what to do.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I think people would be amazed on what the human body can do. You know, I think of somebody like Kurt Angle. Right. Won an Olympic gold medal with a broken neck, or as he says, a broken freaking neck. You know, a lot of people will hear that and be like, that's crazy. You know, but I mean, the human body can do so much, you know, but we poison it a lot of the times, man. You know, we are so undisciplined and put a lot of things in our bodies, man, that we shouldn't be doing. And I do it myself. You know, I like to enjoy life, man. I you know, eat the, you know, double guacamole bacon burger. You know, I like to toss back a couple beers here and there. Yeah, man, there's, you know what? Enjoy life, man. Life doesn't always need to be like just, boom, just strict like that, right? Go ahead and enjoy life, right? Enjoy the fruits of your labor and everything like that. But, you know, be disciplined about it, right? That's not going to be an everyday thing. You know, earn it. Earn it. Go so many days or whatever it may be, you know, discipline, and then, you know, treat yourself a day or two, man. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, that's kind of what I tell people. And just kind of the example that I would give, the analogy that I would give for what we see a lot today, right? On how people are just complaining, right, about life, and yet we're so spoiled. Here's an analogy. If somebody asks you for, you know, $20 or so, right? Somebody comes up to you, hey, man, you got $20 on you. It's like, yeah, you know, you want to help the guy out. You know, yeah, it's $20, Holmes. You know what I mean? Don't worry about it. All right, cool. Then comes back again. Hey, man, you got another $20, dog? You know, I highly appreciate it. The first few times, that person is going to appreciate you giving them that $20, right? So, oh, hey, man, you know, handshake, hug, and everything, cool, thank you, and everything like that, right? Fast forward, this happening 50, 60 times. That person is no longer appreciating those $20 that you're giving them. What it's going to turn into now is that person expecting you giving them $20. Hey, Bobby, you got $20, dog? You know, it's no longer the whole, hey, big thank you and everything. The appreciation is gone, right? Now it comes to expect. Now I expect. Now, if it was me doing it, now I'm waking up knowing that Bobby's going to give me $20, right? And here's the thing, even though at the beginning I was very appreciative, now that I'm expecting, if you now say, Chale, oh, now we got an issue. Now I got bad things to say about you, right? Like, what? What happened? Nah, dog, you know what? I'm not going to be giving you $20 anymore. Now, here's the thing now, Bobby. Here's the thing. Here's what this turns into now. All the times that you help me out with those $20 to me are now gone. And all that sticks around now for whenever I need to say something about one Mr. Bobby Garcia is, that fool's a tight ass, eh? That fool doesn't help out a camarada. Right? Because he wouldn't spot me $20. Yet he probably spotted me, you know, 500, 600, $700 total combined. But what changed? What changed was me on how I was receiving the $20. First, he's helping a brother out. Gracias, I highly appreciate it. But because it kept happening over and over and over, the way I feel about it changed to where now I'm expecting it. And when you said no, now you're not a good dude, homie. Now you're not helping a brother out, right? All that money that you gave me before doesn't count now. Because it's, hey, what have you done for me lately? See, that's what happens in life. So when people get very comfortable, that's what happens. You start expecting, right? And when you don't get, when you don't receive, now it's the whole, hey, man, what's going on here? You know, it's like, hey, what do you mean what's going on here? You've been blessed, okay? Whatever you get, whatever you take, use that to uplift yourself. You know, don't take it as a form of, I expect this now. Now this is part of my life. Now Bobby G giving me $20 is a part of my life. That's a part of my daily routine now. No, it's not. No, it's not. Every time he spots me the feria, I got to take it that he's helping me out. And my goal should be to one day not ask Bobby for $20. As a matter of fact, my goal should be one day to take Bobby out to thank him for helping me out. But a lot of times that's not what happens. A lot of times it's just like, oh, that dog, he's spotting me, homie. So that's what it turns into. I'm gonna keep on coming. And then the day he closes the door, it's like, oh, that dog, that fool's no good now. And that's what happens a lot in life, man. So, you know, and it's hard, you know, I mean, it's hard to appreciate all the things in life because you just get so sidetracked, man. There's a lot that goes on in life depending on who you are and what you're doing, man. And to really stop and take a look and be like, man, you know what? Man, things can be so much more worse, right? A lot of people that complain about life and everything, they're always looking at people that what they believe have a better life than them, right? But when you look at other people that would like to be in your position, you know, you can look at them and be like, you know what, man, I'm blessed. I'm blessed, you know, so I could be there, but I'm not. I'm here. I want to be there where they're at. Now, how do I get there, right? It's something what I got to do to get me there. I think there's this whole misconception, and it sounds like a positive thing of unity. And I think it's actually going to end up building weak-minded people. I see it already. And I don't think people are really paying attention to it the way they should be. And it's sad because I think it's really going to drag people down, man. What I'm talking about is, you know, this whole, I hear it a lot, man, Raza United and things of that nature, right? It sounds good. It sounds great. All that stuff sounds so positive. It's like, what are you talking about? How could that be bad? Raza coming together and united and everything. Well, let's take a moment, let's dissect it, and let's think about it, okay? What's being said with a lot of this stuff, right? One thing is, when somebody makes it, right? Whatever you define make it, usually is financially. It's on that person to turn back and bring the other person up, right? Like that's one of the things, right? Like you bring the other person up with you. Okay. First of all, no, it's not on that person, okay? It's not on that person. I don't like that simply for this. You are putting the responsibility on somebody else to bring you up when it's not on that person. Look, if there's people that want to reach back and help others come up, hey, that's good. That's noble of them, right? And that's a good thing to do. But they're not obligated to do that. And it's not on them for your success or lack thereof success. It's on you, for you to put yourself up, not for you to, well, I'm waiting for Bobby, man, to make it. And when Bobby makes it, whatever that is to me, it's on him to bring me up with him. Nah, Charlie, it's on me to bring myself up. It's on you, the individual. Right? Now, you surround yourself around the right people, man. You build friendships, you build bonds and everything. And yeah, man, you can help each other out and do things of that nature. Absolutely. But ultimately, man, that's still on you. It's still on you to surround yourself with the right people. It's still on you to build those relationships. It's still on you to be involved with people that you want to be involved with, being the person that they want to be around. You know, I was a person, man, that people didn't want to be around. Certain individuals didn't want to be around me. You know, it's like, hey, this fool's going to drag us down, right? Guys that are trying to build something, guys that are trying to make it somewhere in life. Once upon a time, it's like, hey, dog, that vato, homie, speaking of me, we don't want that fool around, dog. You know, because that fool brings a different type of mentality, and he's there to bring us down. Right? So it's on you to surround yourself with those people. But that's one thing. I don't like the whole, when somebody so-called makes it, it's on them to turn around and bring somebody. No, it's not. It's not on them. That is not their responsibility. It is on you to uplift yourself to get there. You know, that's one thing. Another thing is like, hey, man, when we all come together, which is a complete fantasy. Okay, I don't even know what that means. You know, I don't even really know what that means. When we all come together how? What are we talking about? Right? But either way, when we all come together, then we can move forward. No, that's not true. You can move forward on your own. Think of what is being said there. Again, you're leaving it in other people's hands, whether you move forward or not. So if people don't come together, you're not going to move forward? Think of what you're saying. It is on you, the individual. It's your life. You move forward. What others are doing, hey, homie, me vale. I'm moving forward. I'm not waiting for somebody to make it to reach back and bring me up. I'm not going to wait for the gente to come together, whatever even that means. I have no idea what that means, but I'm not going to wait for that. That's me putting it in somebody else's hands on where my life goes. No, it's in my hands. I will dictate where my life goes. What everybody else is doing, that's them. People should start focusing on them individually. Right? Now, am I against this whole, unity of the raza and things like that? No, but when it's talked about it in that sense, I don't think people understand what it's doing to them mentally, man. There's a lot of this we and us. No, you, not we, not us. You. What are you going to do? It's your life. Stop waiting for others. Stop putting that power in some movement or somebody to make it or this person over there. No, you. What are you going to do? You are you. You make your movidas. Stop waiting for anybody else and stop looking for something else. You build the right relationships. You become the person that you know you need to become to get to where you want to be, and you start doing it. And when you start doing that, you start realizing relationships in your life start changing. And that's the key right there. right? Because with me, you know, some of my old homeboys, dog, I don't really kick it with them as much. We're all cool. We're cool. Freedom and everything, man. You know, no bumping heads or anything, but I don't kick it with them as much anymore. Why? Because they're not taking the steps to get to where I want to get to. Some are. Some, you know what? Some did it before I did. And now I can look at them and now I can say like, oh, dog, that's why, Holmes. That's why they stopped kicking it. That's why they weren't coming around too much anymore. That's why they got the new friends they got, because they were elevating to another level than I was, right? And I didn't understand that at the time. Now I see where I want to go. Now I see where I'm gonna be, because I'm gonna get there. I know I'm gonna get there. You know how I know I'm gonna get there? Because it's my life. I'm not waiting for somebody else. And that's what people need to understand. It's your life. I know it's not that if I get there. No, I know I'm gonna get there. I'm in control. I'm in control of my life. So, yeah, certain relationships in my life have changed. You know, it's like, hey, man, still cool with, you know, these homies and those homies. Yeah, cool, man. You know, and I've come to open up my life, man, and build new relationships and everything. And, you know, they're on another level and they're trying to go some places as well. And I'm like, hey, man, you know, I'm going the same direction you are, you know, maybe not to the exact same place, but we're heading in the same direction. All right, cool. You know, we come together, man, and boom, we start building and things of that nature and everything like that, man. And we just keep going and keep going and keep going, dog. And it's, you know, I'm just tired, man, of everybody just living this life where they just keep on thinking that they're oppressed and being held down. And a lot of the things, man, it's like you are holding yourself down. Mentally, we have created this box, right? And we, like, just so much complaining goes on. And it's like, no, we can only move forward, we together. Chale, you move forward. Stop waiting for the we. Stop waiting for the us. Stop waiting for any of that. You move forward. And that's where I'm at, man. You know, that's where I'm at. Forward, man. Just looking out the front of the windshield of the big rig, Bobby, and just going, Holmes.
Any positive message that you have to tell people? Anything positive you can give?
Yeah, you know, there's so much to say out there, man. Look, life has a bunch of moving parts. You know, there is no, you know, black or white just answer to life, right? It's like, what's the answer to life? Is it this or is it that? That doesn't exist, man. Life has so many moving parts, man, that's why you need to build a character in you that can overcome different obstacles. Okay, that's the best thing I can give. You're living your life to be validated from others. You know, where certain individuals think about you, your reputation and things of that nature. But I want you to really analyze them, who they are. And why does it matter so much what they think of you? Why does it matter so much of what your reputation is to them? Right? Now I'm in a position where it's like, okay, yeah, reputation does matter. But I don't really care the reputation that I have with this person anymore. Where once upon a time, I did. Now I care what my reputation is with somebody like Bobby. You know, because I'm on a different lane now. So I would just say that there is no just yes or no answers in life. build a character, man. That this that old saying, expect the unexpected, but there's no way to expect it because it's unexpected. So just don't try to live a life without any obstacles, because that doesn't exist. Instead, build the character that can overcome the obstacles. So that will be my message. Stop trying to live a life obstacle-free, because not going to exist. And when an obstacle comes your way, all you're going to do is complain, and you're not going to know how to deal with it, and you're going to look for somebody else to solve it for you. No. Build the character to overcome the obstacles, because life is going to come at you with obstacles, and that's going to be pretty much throughout your whole life, man. So, but I've noticed the people that have that character in them, they're much happier, man. You know, they're much happier. And the people that don't have that character, they're the ones that I keep on hearing complain. They're the ones that keep on struggling. They're the ones that, they're looking around for something else, man. Something to kind of forget about life. Oh, man, let me, just pound nothing but alcohol. Or, man, let me just smoke a gang of weed. Or let me just, they drown themselves in so many other vices, man, to just kind of forget about it. But when I see those that have built a character to just overcome obstacles, I see them much more happy, man. I see them much more happy. And maybe some of them, do smoke a joint every now and then, or drink a pisto every now and then, but they're not doing that because they're trying to forget about their problems. Nah, man, they're just, I'm going to kick back and drink a pisto on a Sunday afternoon. Why not? And that's cool, and nothing wrong with that. So when I see that, I'm like, okay, why am I worried about what they're over here thinking about me, right? When these people over here are doing something with their lives and their character that they've built, I can learn so much. So that's the advice I would get, man. Build a character to overcome the obstacles and the problems, the strength and the guidance to overcome the problems, not to avoid the problems, because there's going to be problems that you just cannot avoid in life.
Great advice, man. It was nice having you on. Appreciate you pulling up, man. Great conversation. It's always a pleasure to have you on, bro. I mean, having you on, it's always interesting. Your stories are pretty cool, and the advice you have is people can take that and actually do something with it, man.
I appreciate it, man. No, hey, look, the pleasure's all mine, Bobby. You already know, big dog. I've always said this about you, man. You're a stand-up individual, man. You're a real stand-up individual, and I appreciate being here, man. So gracias to you and everybody, your fans that tune in, man. This was badass, big dog.
Thanks again, bro, and we do look forward to your next competition that's coming up.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And we'll have you on again, and we'll discuss that. But again, man, thank you for coming down, man. Appreciate you, Official Cholo Trucker.
Gracias for having me on. Everybody, make sure you keep it between the lines.
Until next time.